Hi class, this is a quick overview of assignment 4.2 for this week. It is the research gap worksheet, which includes identification of a research gap and development of a basic research question. So here we're looking at the guidelines and rubric for the assignment. As you can see, it specifies exactly what I'm looking for right here in this rubric, so make sure to take a look at it before you submit your assignment to make sure you have all the necessary elements. And up here we have the research gap worksheet, which is the form that you will complete and submit as your assignment. Let's click on that. So here there are two elements that I'm looking for. The first is gap identification and the second is a research question. So this assignment is another stepping stone towards the final project. That being said, the 5 articles that you should have at this point, and for a quick review, 3 of your articles are under your track and topic and 2 you selected last week. So those 5 articles you'll be using for this assignment. Ultimately, I'd just like you to review those articles and in your reading, think of a sort of area of research that you found hasn't been explored yet or has been explored but could use a little bit more research. Any area, any sort of gap of research that you can find as a result of your review, of your literature review and your readings. That's what I'm looking for you to write in this section over here. So this is the example that's provided. Many studies have looked at the effects of the Big Five personality traits on parenting. Researchers have studied how parental traits as well as child traits affect parenting behaviors. However, there has not been a lot of attention given to the relationship between Big Five traits and their relationship to attachment, and specifically if parents who develop a secure attachment to their children possess certain Big Five traits. So here we have only 3 sentences to encompass this gap identification. The first 2 involve a look at previous research. So a brief overview of what previous research has found. In this case, it's that personality is related to parenting and that research has taken a look at that. What hasn't been looked at, the final sentence speaks of the gap. So what hasn't been discussed in the research is, or paid specific attention to, is attachment. And to be more specific, if parents who develop a secure attachment to their children have certain personality traits. So again, it's a very brief overview of what previous research has shown and what the gap that you have found is. If you can get it down to 3 sentences, that would be great. As concise as you can is what I'm looking for here. There's no need to cite previous research or go into detail about the previous research here. Just a quick statement in your own words of what the research has found and what the gap is. And that should tie directly into your research question over here. So this research question developed from the gap identification is, are parents who are higher on the Big Five traits of introversion and conscientiousness more likely to develop secure attachments with their children? So ultimately, this is a question that a researcher would ask to allow him or herself to further investigate this gap. So you have this gap, and then you have to think about how would a researcher go about studying this? What question would have to be answered? And this is a question that encompasses the Big Five traits and the gap, the research attachments. And if you can be a little bit specific about which personality traits you think might be related to a certain element that you'd like to study, that would be great. So hopefully this helps. Please don't hesitate to email me if you have any questions or post questions on our discussions forum.